Hey you guys, little intro that doesn't have anything to do with the video, kinda, but I just realized that you could see my pile of books right next to my bed the entire time I was filming. That wasn't planned. I hadn't noticed when I was filming. I was just rewatching my footage and I realized that you could see the books. So let's just ignore that. Anyway, sorry, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hey you guys, it's Amélie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to present my TBR for the Booktubeathon. I found out that the Booktubeathon was a thing like recently on Twitter, and I was like, okay, I need to participate in this. So here I am, I'm presenting my TBR today, and for those of you who don't know what the Booktubeathon is, it's basically a week-long challenge where booktubers and readers alike try to read as much as possible. There are also video challenges and Instagram challenges if you want to participate in those. This year's edition of the Booktubeathon will take place on July 30th until August 5th. And that also happens to be the time where I'll be on vacation in Orlando. So I might not be able to participate as much as I want to, as I will be away, but I will try to join in as much as I can, and I'll try to read as much as I can as well. I do plan on daily vlogging while I'm in Orlando, so I think I'll just try to use this opportunity to update you guys on my reading as well. So without further ado, let's just jump into the TBR. So the first challenge is to read 7 books in 7 days. So that's why I will be presenting 7 books during this video. The next challenge is to read a book with green on the cover, and for that I chose Warcross by Mary Lou. I know it doesn't have that much green on the cover, but if you look closely, there's a little bit of green right there. So I'm counting it, okay? I just really needed an excuse to read this book. I honestly don't know much about this book besides the fact that it's super hyped and apparently it's amazing. There's virtual reality involved, and I think the main character is a person of color. And yeah, honestly, I just want to read the book. I haven't really read any of Mary Lou's other books, so this will be like my first read of hers. And I have to admit that I'm quite excited. I just want to say something before we dive into this video a little bit more. Most of the books that I'm about to present are books that I just don't know much about, and they're just like super hyped, and I just wanted to read them. As of now, I just want to dive into the books not knowing much about them, because otherwise when they're super hyped, I feel like if I know too much about them, I don't enjoy them as much as I could have, so I dive into them blind. The next challenge is to read a book with a beautiful spine, and for that I chose The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. And look at that beautiful spine. I don't know if you can see much because of the lighting, but I just love like the beautiful blue color and like the greenish yellow, and I just think the design is super cute and it looks super good on my shelf, so I was like, this has to do. Once again, I don't know much about this book. I know it's historical fiction. Apparently it's hilarious, and it's about this guy named Monty. From what I've heard, he's bisexual and he is in love with his best friend, who he is traveling around Europe with. Honestly, that's all I need to know. I'm just super excited to dive into that one. It was recommended by so many booktubers, and I'm just really excited to dive into it. The next challenge is to read a book about something you want to do, and for that I chose Blonde Ops by Charlotte Bernardo and Natalie Zayman. This book is about this girl who travels to Rome in Italy to intern for this fashion magazine, but once she gets there, her editor-in-chief gets in a mysterious accident that lands her in a coma. The First Lady is also traveling to Rome to do a fashion shoot for this magazine, and Beck, the main character, thinks the First Lady is also in danger because her editor-in-chief accident might not have been an accident after all. I chose this book because I've always wanted to travel to Italy. It's been a dream of mine for ages, and I've also always wanted to work for a magazine. I don't know if it's like The Devil Wears Prada, where Anne Hathaway ends up being like this amazing person working for this fashion magazine, or if it's just the fact that I'm a comm major and I just really love magazines. I don't know, there's something about them that I just really like, and this book is the perfect mix between two of my dreams. It also has been standing on my TBR shelf for a while now. It has been collecting dust. It is one of the first books that I presented in my very first book haul, and I will leave a link to that video somewhere up on the screen for you to watch if you haven't watched it yet. Overall, I think this book is like the perfect summer contemporary slash thriller book. I don't know. It sounds super fun and just a like YA summer read that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy, and it's also very like short, so I think I can get to that like quite quickly. The next challenge is to read and watch a book to movie adaptation, and for that I chose The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I'm kind of cheating a little bit with this one because The Darkest Minds is being turned into a movie, but the movie is not out yet. However, the movie is coming out on August 3rd, which is right in the middle of the Booktubeathon, so I am counting it. I don't know if I'll be able to watch the movie adaptation as I'll be in Orlando at the time, but we're just gonna count it because I really want to read this book. Once again, I don't know much about it. I'm really sorry. This seems to be very recurrent in this video. But I do know it's about like a bunch of kids with supernatural power, and I think they're escaping the government, or they're fighting the government, or maybe both. It's set in a dystopian world, like a post-apocalyptic era or something like that. And the main character's name is Ruby. Those are all the details that I know of. And I know this book has gotten a lot of hype recently, especially with the movie coming out, but also because the 4th book in the series, The Darkest Legacy, is coming out soon. I don't have the exact date, but I think it's pretty soon. And people have been raving about the series, and I just want to understand what the hype is all about. So that's it for the books that are related to certain challenges. There are 2 more challenges in this Booktubeathon, but they do not influence the books that you choose for your TBR. If you want to know more about the other challenges or just about the Booktubeathon in general, I will leave a link to the original video where the host presents the challenges and all the details about the Booktubeathon that you need to know. So if you want to participate, you'll have all the details down below. The next 3 books are just books that I'm really excited to read, and I wanted to get to 7 because the challenge is to read 7 books in 7 days. So I added 3 books that have nothing to do with the other challenges, but are just some that I'm very excited to read. And the first one is Fury Born by Claire Legrand. This has gotten so much hype on Booktube lately. This seems to be the trend of this video, but what can I say? The hype gets to me sometimes. And I honestly don't know much about it. I know there's 2 queens in 2 different eras. I think there are centuries apart, so there's like 2 timelines that you're following. One is a blood queen and one is a sun queen, but what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. I just really like the cover, and it got so many positive reviews. And it's a fantasy book, and for some reason I'm really into fantasy right now, so I mean, I'm excited. The next book that I plan on reading during the Booktubeathon is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. If you've been on Booktube, or even like Instagram or whatever, for a while, you know that this book has gotten so much hype ever since it's been out. Like, it's non-stop. People keep raving about it, keep giving it a positive review, and I honestly don't even know what it's about. I don't think I've heard a negative review yet, but I just really want to get to it and like understand what the hype is all about. I know there's elemental magic involved and like clans in West Africa, and that's pretty much it, honestly. I also really like this cover. Like, I think it's super pretty. And yeah, I'm just very excited for that one because I just heard so many positive things that I think I'm bound to love this. I really hope I do. The last book that I want to read is a Disney related book. While I'm going to be in Orlando, I do plan on going to Disney World, and I thought to prepare myself, what better way to read a Disney book. As you may know, I did a 24-hour readathon where I only read Disney books, and if you haven't watched that video yet, I will leave a link up on the screen for you to watch. And the book that I chose to prepare myself for Disney World is Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. This is the 2nd book in the Twisted Tale series by the same author. In this one, the prince gets to Aurora, and when its lips touch hers, he falls asleep too. So Aurora has to wake herself up, and in order to do that, she has to escape another castle, but this time in her dreams. Basically, she has to find her way out of this castle in her dreams in order to wake herself up. I don't know if I'm making much sense. That's what I'm getting from this book. Might be explaining it wrong, but I haven't read the book. I cannot tell. But this sounds super interesting. I do hope that I will like it more than A Whole New World, which is the 1st book in the series. I didn't hate the 1st book, but it just didn't live up to my expectations, so I'm hoping that this one will. I do have to admit that I've never been that big a fan of Sleeping Beauty as a Disney movie, so my expectations are not as high with this book, but I do like the feminist vibes that I'm getting from it. But overall, I'm just quite excited to dive into that one, and I think I might bring it with me to Orlando so I can read it right before I head to Disney World. So this concludes my TBR for this Booktubeathon. If you're also planning on participating in the Booktubeathon, make sure to leave a comment below. I just want to know who's participating, and I also want to know which books do you plan on reading during the Booktubeathon. Also, if you've read any of the books that I just mentioned, I would love if you could tell me which one I should start with, because they all sound so good and I just don't know which one I want to start with. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I guess that's it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!